Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, June 7th, 2023. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief presented by Annapolis Subaru and the SPCA of Anne Arundel County. A quick housekeeping note, if you signed up for our daily newsletter, we did send out one last night at 7 p.m., but I screwed it up. It was events and not news. Stick with me. I'm going to have it straightened out shortly. Aside from that, we do have some news, so let's get into it, shall we? I scolded someone on Twitter who said, "Wow, Annapolis is the new murder capital of Maryland." Far from it, but the city does seem to have a problem, and many are wondering if the Annapolis Police Department has a plan. The latest? 2 more shootings. Thankfully, no one injured. The first was on June 4th, and officers were in the 900 block of Newtown Drive when they heard shots fired in the 700 block. For those unfamiliar, this is a dead-end street off of Forest Drive. They got to the scene and they found 2 vehicles damaged, but no victims or suspects. The second shooting was on June 5th. They received multiple calls for gunshots on Pleasant Street, but when they arrived, they could not locate a victim or any property damage. This is the street behind the Graduate Hotel and also the street where the shots were fired from that killed Michelle Cummings as she sat on the hotel's patio. And actually, I just checked on that case and the defendant has filed an appeal. But between the bullets flying, the Annapolis Police Department has their hands full with car break-ins around the city. The latest was overnight between June 4th and June 5th. 6 vehicles were entered and some of them had possessions stolen. The streets involved were Rockwell Court, Roselawn Road, Thorn Court, Hilltop Lane, and Garden Gate Lane. Police didn't say whether the vehicles were left unlocked or not, but always lock them up, put your valuables away. Additionally, there was another one between June 1st and June 5th where a parked vehicle on Hilltop Lane was damaged and items were stolen. Out in Severn, which seems to have become a hot spot in the county lately, police were called to the 100 block of Gambrels Road for a disturbance. A 28-year-old Severn man had assaulted an elderly resident and began destroying items in the home. He did retreat into the attic and a standoff ensued. Police were talking with him from inside the house when officers outside noticed that the house was on fire up by the attic. Yes, the man set the house on fire. Then he appeared in the attic's opening, which was on fire, and the ceiling collapsed and the suspect fell through. He was flown to a burn center for his injuries. The woman was treated for minor injuries, and 2 police officers were treated for smoke inhalation. The suspect has been charged with assault and arson, and other charges are pending. The relationship between the suspect and the victim is unknown. Anne Arundel County is about to become a bit more environmentally friendly. Following the lead of Frederick and Easton, the County Council has passed a ban on most plastic bags. If you are a live fish, a dry cleaning store, or loose tobacco, you're all spared from the ban. Additionally, the law, which will take effect on January 1st, will require merchants to charge 10 cents per bag for paper bags. And I am not clear what that dime is for or who gets it. I do suspect that the retailer needs to fork it over to the county. Maryland Hall keeps getting better and cooler. Be sure to come out on June 15th for the ribbon cutting on the new Media Arts Hub, which is a cool new way to say audio and video production studio. It is a marriage of technology and art. The doors will open at 5:30 p.m. Again, that's June 15th, and the ribbon is set to be cut at 6 p.m. with tours to follow. Definitely want to check that one out. Hey, parents of little kids, and maybe even some high schoolers, listen up. There used to be one of these in the area and it went away. Now it's back. Play It Again Sports is preparing to open up in Crofton. Currently, they are buying used sports equipment for an initial inventory, and when they open, they will have a ton of used gear for sale. If your kids were like mine, they tried every sport imaginable, and I amassed a ton of gear. Now there is a place to buy and sell when they lose interest. It's at 2165 Defense Highway, which is Route 450, and it's just before Route 3 in the small little shopping center behind the Rita's Water Ice. If you look at caller IDs before picking up, here is a number you need to know, 227. On June 14th, Maryland will get a new area code to supplement 301 and 240, which are running out of numbers. Apparently 410 and 443 still have some room. Anyhow, this new area code will primarily be in the Bethesda, Frederick, Bowie, Potomac, Waldorf, Wheaton areas, but it could pop up in other ones. So, just so you know, if you see 227, know that that's a Maryland number. All right, that is a wrap on the business news. Up this Saturday on the Local Business Spotlight, Prosper, a great app for young adults and teens for mental health. And next week, True Food Kitchen. All right, let's put this puppy to bed with a quick thank you to you and also to our sponsors for the Daily News Brief, Annapolis Subaru, the SPCA of Anne Arundel County, Solar Energy Services, Hospice of the Chesapeake, and the Maryland Higher Education Commission. So now you just need to hang tight. George Young from DCMDVA Weather is standing by with the only locally forecast weather report you will find, and Bridget, also known as BeeprBuzz, or after that video I saw, maybe we need to call her Annie Oakley. She's here with all your music news in Annapolis After Dark. Anyhow, all that's coming up in just a bit, so hang tight.
Did you get close to completing your college degree but dropped out during the COVID pandemic? Well, as a near completer, you may be eligible to receive money from the Maryland Higher Education Commission to finish your degree. Again, if you started your degree but for whatever reason never finished it, the Maryland Higher Education Commission has money to help you return to college and finish what you started. Go to mhec.maryland.gov and click on the Near Completer grant to learn more.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA Weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA Weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMDVA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Wednesday, June 7th. Yesterday brought more nice weather to the Annapolis region, but northerly winds brought more smoky skies and poor air quality from Canadian wildfires to the north, and we'll have to continue to contend with hazy, smoky skies for at least another day or two. Look for widespread haze and poor air quality today, with highs around 80 degrees with more of the same likely Thursday as well, along with a small but valid chance of some PM storms. From there, Friday will bring another small chance of PM storms with highs 75 to 80 degrees, ahead of a weekend with sunshine in mid-80s or so on Saturday, followed by 85 to 90 degrees Sunday with a greater chance of some PM rain primarily coming late in the day and sticking around through much of Monday. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DCMDVA Weather. Make it a great day out there today. Stay healthy and be safe. And don't forget, follow DCMDVA Weather on Facebook and Twitter for regular updates each day, along with the website at dcmdvaweather.info, so you can always stay weather informed.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Have you been looking for ways to save money recently? Maybe you should consider solar energy for your home. Or are you waiting for the technology to get cheaper? If so, how long are you going to wait? Today's solar costs less than 20% of what it cost 10 years ago. But while solar prices have declined every year, so have the financial incentives. Bottom line, if you wait for cheaper solar, you're also waiting for lower incentives. Take my home, for example. My solar system was installed in 2010, and it's been paid off for almost 5 years, and I no longer have to buy any electricity for another 15 to 20 years. If I waited for cheaper solar, I'd still be paying an electric bill. At Solar Energy Services, we have thousands of satisfied customers who are sure glad they didn't wait. So what are you waiting for? Sunshine's a wasted. Call us today for a free solar design at 410-923-6090 or on the web at solarsaves.net.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
The music scene in Anne Arundel County is popping, and sometimes it's hard to sort through it all. From blues to pop, from funk to ska, BeeprBuzz has it all covered for you in this week's Annapolis After Dark.
Good morning, Annapolis. BeeprBuzz here with your Annapolis After Dark weekend music highlights for Wednesday, June 7th through Sunday, June 11th. Go to the socials for Annapolis Streaming and BeeprBuzz, and also both websites for the full schedule. We update the event and all websites with changes and cancellations, so you know before you go. AnnapolisStreaming.com and BeeprBuzz.com. Live music for today, Wednesday. Nate Finn will be solo at Middleton Tavern. Matt and Jason of Troll Tribe will be inside at Mother's in Arnold. Russell Jacobson of Bilgewater Bluegrass will be solo at Santa Joe's on West Street after dinner under the stars. Bob Quinlan of Meerkat Nation will be solo acoustic with special guest Bill Riley at Severn Park Tap House. And the Big Laird Band will be at Dark Horse. Thursday, get to the point for Brian Ewald. Over on the shore, throwing back Thursday with J. Corsi Willis outside at Big Al Tiki Bar. Mike Here is back and playing at Langways and Gambril's in the Crofton area. Jennifer Schimpf will be at Killarney House in Davidsonville. Aaron Hawkins of Loose Ties will be solo at Severn Park Tap House. Blue Miracle with Meg Murray will be at Ram's Head on stage with Dance Floor. And under my other things to do, there will be trivia at the Speakeasy at Second Alarm Brew House in Pasadena, and also trivia at Firm Brewing in Crofton. Weekend music. Start with Happy Hour at Blackwall Hitch with Dana B and stay for Brave Noise. The Severn River Band will be making their debut at Langways in the Gambril's Crofton area. Up in Severn Park, Red Betty and the Ruckus will be rockin' Romelos. Brian Ewald and Meg Murray will be at Brian Baru. And down the road, Alex Cooper will be outside at Mother's in Arnold, while George Jano will be inside. Live the Dream, made up of many familiar faces, will be at River Bay Roadhouse in the Cape. Puppy Blue Eyes will be at Middleton Tavern Friday night. And Them Crazy Maracas will be across the street at Annapolis Market House. Grab your dancing shoes and head to Annapolis Smokehouse for Big Money Band. And end the night with Lee Pretty Trio at Santa Joe's on West Street. Saturdays start with breakfast at Bread and Butter Kitchen in Eastport with music by Michael K. of Pretty Big Deal. Bootleggers and Baptist and Old Eastern are playing the 7th annual Pints for Paul's Home Brewing and Craft Beer Festival at the Navy Stadium on Saturday. Take your pup to this fun event where you can get to sample more than 50 home brews from the Annapolis Home Brew Club, as well as beer from local craft breweries like Firm Brewing, Crooked Crab, Forward Brewing, and more. Support the SPCA of Anne Arundel County and go home with a fancy glass. It's also party time again up at Whitey's Liquors in Lithicum in the parking lot. The Break On Through Festival with music by the Severn River Band. Larry Lay will be back on the keys by the Tiki Bar down at Stan and Joe's Riverside in Galesville. Joey Fitz will be at Severn Park Tap House. Lauren and Rusty Duo will be at Brian Baru. Alex G. Lee of Three White Guys will be with Faith E. at Annapolis Market House. The Chesapeake Suns will be at Vibe in Annapolis, which used to be Union Jacks. Michael McHenry Tribe will be at Dark Horse. Ryan Keith Band will be bringing the Honky Tonk to Ram's Head Roadhouse in Crownsville. Michael K. of Pretty Big Deal will be at Killarney House in Davidsonville. The Rescue Party will be at Rumor Reel in Pasadena. The Caffeine Rush Duo will be at Kelsey's Irish Pub in Ellicott City. And end the night with Honey Soul at Santa Joe's on West Street. Sunday Fun Day. Leather Chair Record Store concerts return to Trip Records in Edgewater. Ryan Keith and Tom Coster will be playing Sunday afternoon as you browse their large collection of used vinyl. This will be one to catch. Mac Heat will be at the Severn Park Tap House Sunday afternoon. Sharon and the Edge will be up at Mike's Crab House North in Pasadena. In the MRE, the Love is Love Festival will be happening Sunday afternoon at Eastport Democratic Club. This event will be open to the public with music by West Street Revival Band and friends. Ben Heemstra of Ben will be at Santa Joe's Riverside down in Galesville. And Rick and the Revolving Doors will be at Dark Horse. Remember, these are just the highlights. Find the full schedule of music for all of Annapolis and the surrounding areas on the Annapolis Streaming Facebook event and on the websites AnnapolisStreaming.com and BeeprBuzz.com, spelled BeeprBuzz. I'll see you out there.
The benefits of a good night's sleep are well documented. Sleeping well prevents weight gain, improves concentration and creativity, and boosts the immune system. So, what keeps you up at night? If you run a business, then the security of your computer network may be one of those things. Threats like ransomware and phishing are becoming increasingly sophisticated and pose a real risk to any business. Don't let these cyber threats keep you up at night. At Alpha, they've been helping their customers sleep better for over 30 years by monitoring in real time and hardening network defenses. And for those irritating IT issues that arise every day, Alpha's just a phone call away, helping your business run smoothly and helping you sleep better, knowing Alpha is on guard. Give Alpha a call to see if they can ease your worries and help you get the rest you deserve. Find them at alphagetsit.com.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.